Hi, everybody, and welcome to our council meeting for first meeting of March. I see before us Council March 5th, 2024. We have an agenda before us. I also think we should talk about snow clearing later on, past and present. I think Dr. Dalamont is predicting a heavy snowfall this coming Friday. So get ready, folks. And on a motion, thank you from Councillor Lane and seconded by Councillor Locke. The agenda is now accepted. And we have proclamations here tonight, and we have some people in attendance. So I'll read the land acknowledgement first. Just bear with me, please. We begin today's public council meeting by respectfully acknowledging the province of Newfoundland and Labrador as the ancestral homelands of many diverse populations of Indigenous peoples, including the Biotech, who have contributed to 9,000 years of history on the island of Newfoundland. Today, this province is home to diverse populations of Indigenous and other people. We acknowledge with respect the diverse histories and cultures of the Mi'kmaq, Innu, and Inuit. We honor this beautiful land together as we strive for collective healing and true reconciliation. Moving right to the minutes from February 20th. Any errors or omissions before we discuss? Hearing none on motion of Councillor Rice, seconded by Councillor Antle, that we adopt the minutes. All in favor? Those opposed? And that's carried. Business arising, Council, please. Please.
It's just a question, actually, and it's regarding the life skills slow cooker classes, number 24-02-080. Just wondering what the take-up was on that.
It depends on the class. The nighttime class, there's still some spots. There's about a half dozen, I think, or 8 in one. The lunchtime one, there hasn't been a whole lot of uptake yet.
And when is the deadline to apply for that?
You can still register.
Anybody else? Hearing none. We've adopted the minutes. No business arising further. We have a proclamation today for Easter Seals Month, and we're joined today by Brianna Pelly. Welcome, Brianna, a resident of Mount Pearl, I might add, folks. And she's with Horizons Work Experience and Secure Future Programs Coordinator. That'd be a great acronym if we could cobble it together, but thank you for coming. And I think I talked to Brianna beforehand. We'll read the proclamation and then she's going to join us for a picture. So whereas approximately 100,000 people of all ages in our province live with disabilities, such as physical, sensory, cognitive, and other disabilities that present barriers to full participation in society. Whereas Easter Seals, Newfoundland and Labrador, is a charitable organization with a vision for a community where all people with disabilities live full, healthy, and active lives, a mission to engage, inspire, and maximize opportunities for people with disabilities of all ages by providing meaningful programs and services. And whereas Easter Seals, Newfoundland and Labrador's recreation programs help those with disabilities explore what they can do through independence camps, art and music therapy, and adaptive sports, promoting full, active, and healthy, socially engaged lifestyles. And whereas Easter Seals, Newfoundland and Labrador offers employment and education services to assist those with barriers to employment in successfully transitioning from home and school into adulthood and independence with a focus on preparing for, obtaining, and maintaining gainful employment. And whereas Easter Seals, Newfoundland and Labrador, I Can Too Disability Awareness Program activities foster disability awareness and sensitivity and provide tools for accessibility and inclusion. Therefore, with the support of the Council of the City of Mount Pearl, I, the Mayor, on their behalf, we sign this proclamation and declare the month of March in 2024 to be observed through the City of Mount Pearl as Easter Seals Month. And we call upon all citizens of the city to support the worthy charitable organization and the people of all ages and all disabilities it serves. I fix that. I await the picture, but Council, any comments? Councillor Lane, please.
I'm very happy to see this here tonight. I'm an IRT teacher, which means I work with people with disabilities every day. And to say it's the most meaningful career is an understatement. And I've seen the impact on organizations such as Easter Seals has had on the quality of life of individuals with disabilities. So I just wanted to thank you guys for all that you do, done, and continue to do in the future. And thank you to all the organizations that are out there to support those with disabilities. Because disabilities is not about what you can't do, it's about what you can do. So thank you for being here.
Well, let's get that picture, won't we? You move that. And we have fine city staff. All right, thanks, everybody. First committee report tonight, planning, engineering, development, Councillor Antle.
Your worship, I'll do the first couple and I'll pass on to my colleague, Councillor Rice. Number one is regarding the St. David's Smart Accessible Playground. And this is a change order number 8 and a consultant change order number 3. And the first one is like, the committee was advised the work is now effectively completed on the St. David's Smart Accessible Playground. And some outstanding items were completed by contractual order, which required final costing. The concrete apron bordering the park required an adjustment to meet maximum grades to ensure accessibility. A water testing station at the fountain required repair and adjustment due to a failure underground. Oversight and inspection of the work was required over a longer period than expected, resulting in some additional inspection hours required by the consultant. The Planning, Engineering, and Development Committee is recommending approval of contractor change order number 8, payable to Monitor and Paving for the concrete apron adjustment, and water testing station totaling $6,574.93, HST included. Further, the committee recommends approval of a consultation change order number 3, payable to Track Consulting for additional inspection service of the project total $1,667.50, HST included, and I so move.
It is moved by Councillor Antle, and thank you. Councillor Rice has seconded it. Any questions, comments on these change orders? As this project winds up, I'll call the question. All in favor? Contrary-minded? Carried. Back to you.
The other one is just a couple of change orders, and this involves the H. Neil Windsor building, and is our climate change improvements and the park shed fuel switching project. This contract, and the first one, the background, the committee was advised for the contract for the H. Neil Windsor bidding. Climate change improvements for park shed fuel switching was awarded to JMJ Holdings on March 21st, 2023. And the contractor change order number 4 was to CU disconnect upsizing. The committee was advised that the disconnect of heat pump CU2 was required to be upsized to match the unit's requirements. The cost of this upsized disconnect is $2,765.29, HST included. And contract order number 5 was a panel DP breaker replacement. The committee was advised that the breakers in electrical panel DP1 failed the short circuit evaluation, and the arc flash analysis dictated that the breakers would be required to be replaced with a higher rated breakers at a cost of $18,447.50, HST included. The Planning, Engineering, and Development Committee recommends approval of change order number 4 in the amount of $2,765.29, HST included, or CU2 disconnect. Upsizing and approval of change order number 5 in the amount of $18,447.50, HST included, for panel DP1 brake replacement, both payable to J&J Holdings. And I so move.
Second.
Moved by Councillor Antle again, and second by Councillor Rice. Thank you. Any questions, council? I just did want to ask Director Antle what an upsize disconnect is, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. I'm Director Antle, so I'll answer that question. Thank you. Upsize is a larger amperage for the size of the unit, so the breaker has to be increased in size to match that. So it was an original part that we had contemplated, and due to certain delays in the parts supply, it increased the size of the unit, hence we require the breaker size to match.
Thank you. Anything else? Okay, I'll call the question. All in favor? Those opposed? Thank you. Motion carried.
And number 3, it's a pleasure to bring forward this National Engineering Month from March 1st to the 31st. Engineers Canada has proclaimed March 1st to 31st, 2024 as National Engineering Month, which is Canada's largest celebration of engineering, according to Engineers Canada. National Engineering Month celebrates the heart and soul of engineers, their passion, commitment, and action towards making the world and Mount Pearl a better place. The city staff, and we have great staff, our engineers, our staff of engineers, and our technologists certainly do a great job here in the city of Mount Pearl. You know, myself and Councillor Rice have been on the committee for a few months. Mark's been on for a couple of years, and our dedication and our commitment to the service, the city of Mount Pearl has always comes through. Whenever we ask them a question, anytime at all, it's always forthright, upfront, and gives us the best answer possible. The city staff of professional engineers, engineering technologists, and other technical staff continue to demonstrate and to drive daily while working on behalf of the city of Mount Pearl and its residents. They work to advance new infrastructure projects and complete upgrades to existing infrastructure in an effort to continually improve the quality and reliability of service here within the city. And now I'm going to pass it over to Councillor Rice, and he has a few comments, and then he'll go from there. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Antle. I too like to wish, congratulations to our engineers and our city staff, technologists, everybody in the planning, engineering, and development department. Actually, they're always pretty active with projects, and and you can see from a report from PAID, there's all kinds of change orders. So we're involved in change orders on almost every project these days, because something is overseen or not picked up, I guess, in the initial tender and stuff like that. So there's always change orders. There's always a debate going back and forth. So I just want to say that we have a great staff here at the city, and I certainly congratulate them for all the work that they do for the city of Mount Pearl. So one impact I guess I got to speak of is the climate change. Is more intense storms that occur frequently, and all the stormwater infrastructure designed to effectively handle increased rainfall. The city's zero net runoff policy and the requirement for stormwater detention systems helps prevent existing stormwaters and water course from being inundated with intense rainstorms. So, I mean, they work, I guess, in upgrading our storm sewers, our sewer systems, and our water supplies here in the city of Mount Pearl. Reduction of greenhouse gases is a big thing going forward now with the green. With all of Canada, I guess most of the world trying to go green. So gases have been identified and being crucial to slowing climate change. And we see this on the Neil Windsor building, where we're trying to do some greenhouse changes up there, going with a more advanced system than we had before. Seems like oil is going out. We're trying to go electric, to cut down on the greenhouse gases. So the reduction of greenhouse gases have been identified as being crucial in slowing climate change. So we continue to collaborate with our engineers, consultants, to ensure that design and construction of facilities such as the Summit Centre, the new community centre, and the Team Guju complex are all LEED certified and energy efficient. LEED stands for Leaders in Energy and Environment, which engineers are very, very, as part of their daily tasks. For instance, currently waste heat at the Summit Center and Glacier are recovered and used to heat other areas of the facility. And I'll just elaborate actually on the engineering staff work with developers and residents to ensure that all construction in the city of Mount Pearl complies with all relevant codes, including but not limited to the National Building Code of Canada, the National Fire Code, and the National Plumbing Code. Engineering staff work with engineers, consultants. We're always working with consultants that are doing developments and buildings around our city to conduct studies and assessments of city infrastructure to ensure safe and efficient operations. Previous studies and assessments have been completed by the city's road network, storm sewer, sanitary sewer, and water distribution studies. The result of the investigations are typically used in the planning and eventually construction of future infrastructure upgrades. So, that's just a tip of the iceberg, I guess, of what our engineering department does. But again, on behalf of myself, I just want to say, me and my co-chair, Councillor Antle, I just want to say thank you for everything that you do, Director, and you can certainly pass it along to staff that we certainly appreciate the stuff that you do here in the city. So I just want to add, now that's the end of, we got one more actually item, if anybody wanted to speak on that. Actually, I just wanted to, because we're going to go on to number 4 now, the building and occupancy.
There's no
permit listing.
motion, so if you wanted to speak, put your hand up. Otherwise, we're moving on. So I don't mean to sound too procedural, but that was the
Yep.
reason I moved.
Okay, hearing nobody, I wish want to move on to item number 4, our building occupancy permit listing for January 29th to February 9th, 2024. So the Planning, Engineering, Development Committee recommends that the residential and commercial building permits used for this period showing a total construction value of 31,000 be approved, and further that the occupancy permit listing be accepted as presented. So you can see that in your kit right there. And I so move.
So you're moving building construction residential, building construction commercial, as well as the occupancy permits issued. And that is moved by Councillor Rice. Thank you. And second by Councillor Antle. Any questions? All in favor? Opposed? Carried.
And that's it for our paid report, Your Worship. So
Starting tonight is Councillor Lane, I believe, is it? No, Councillor Rice.
thank you, Worship. So our first one is our invoices for approval. You can see them there in your kit. The committee recommends that the following invoices be approved for payment, totaling $58,841.95, and I so move. $54,841.95. Yep.
Moved by Councillor Rice again and seconded by Councillor Antle. Any questions? Second by Councillor Lane. Okay, moved by Councillor Rice, second by Councillor Lane. Any questions, Council? Sorry about that, Councillor Lane. Hearing none, all in favor? Motion carried. If nobody opposes, thank you.
Yeah, trying to get it figured out who's on the committee is hard, isn't it? Sometimes. So our second one is our payment register for the information of council. The following payment register for from February the 17th until February the 28th for 2024, totaling $1,746,860.67. So they're all there in your kit. If you have any questions, it's just for information purposes only.
Councillor Fridas.
Yeah, no, I just have to ask, because I was browsing through these, I saw a payment of $4,000 for Destination St. John's. I'm just wondering what that could possibly be for.
That's our sport tourism event partnership step annual membership for 2024. You're welcome.
Any further questions? Hearing none, back to the committee.
Thank you, Worship. I'll pass the next part of our committee report now over to Councillor Lane. Thank you.
Okay, next on our agenda, we have the funding announcement, Government of Canada's Housing Accelerator Fund. helping build more homes faster in Mount Pearl. Housing continues to be one of the most pressing challenges facing the city of Mount Pearl, our region, and our province. Responding to this need is one of the city's top priorities, with the goal of bringing more people to live and work right here in our city. With federal funding and federal leadership, the Government of Canada is changing how cities can expedite how housing gets built in their municipalities. With a greater focus on higher density housing, student housing, homes near transit, and affordable housing. On February 22nd, 2024, the Government of Canada and the City of Mount Pearl announced that they reached an agreement to fast track over 180 housing units over the next 3 years. This work will help spur the construction of 2,000 homes over the next decade. The agreement under the Housing Accelerator Fund will provide over $6.1 million to eliminate barriers to building the housing we need faster. This will enable the city to expedite the construction of 180 housing units directly to aid the city in meeting the target of 386 units over the next 3 years. Mount Pearl's action plan commits to the following local initiatives that enable a variety of housing forms and densities to meet the diverse needs of the community. Accelerate the municipal plan review and renewal. Improve permitting process through the implementation of e-permitting technology. Develop incentive programs and introduce permit fee reductions, develop guidelines for different housing options, establish an affordable housing reserve fund program, complete a municipal assessment management review, enhancing relationship management, and conduct a housing needs assessment. The above is just a snapshot of planned project, and as plans advance, more details will become available. For a copy of the media release on this announcement and further information on housing initiatives, you can visit the website that's listed below.
Any comments? It's a great announcement. Councillor Rice.
No, I just want to add, it's certainly good news for the city of Mount Pearl, to get this funding from the federal government. It's always good to get money, and especially when it goes to our accelerated housing fund and development of housing in the city of Mount Pearl, because we know how crucial are to get developments, I guess, going in the city now. We got a lot of newcomers living in the city, and they're trying to find places to live. And we have a lot of seniors who are looking at moving out of their homes and moving into either affordable living or a condo or an apartment. So, it's certainly a good news story for the city of Mount Pearl. I just want to say I'm really pleased with the funding, and hopefully we can put it to good use in the city. Thank you.
Councillor Mantle.
Your worship. Yes, this was a great funding announcement. And it's great that we can talk about it indoors because we did it last week and it was cold. All right, we even had a little bit of snow. But one thing I must notice, and I'm sure you're all getting the same thing, is the phone calls I'm getting now from developers and seniors asking about housing. So we're getting people talking. I think the faster we get people talking, get people moving, and we can use this funding. It was not funding that I had people ask me, like, when are we going to build that building? It's not to build a building. It's to help developers. It's help move that to permit for ahead further and further. So it's a great news story for us. And our committee has been working on it, and we're looking forward to building more and more homes within the city of Mount Pearl. So it's a great news story. Thank you.
Yes, yes, please, Councillor Locke.
Thank you, Mayor. Just to build on what Councillor Antle was saying, because I received 3 or 4 calls. 2 of them, I think, were for seniors. They were wondering where these 180 units were going to be and how could they put their name on the list for this. So there's a real need out there for that. But as Councillor Antle mentioned, it's the $6.1 million is not to construct the houses. It's to accelerate the process, the planning that will help accelerate the building of these houses. And the first one that was mentioned there by Councillor Lane was the accelerating the municipal plan review and renewal. And we spoke about that some weeks back, that we're reaching out to our residents to get their input into their municipal plan, because that's going to change. That dictates the zoning in the area. And the whole spirit of this Housing Accelerator Fund is for intensification of housing. And I'm sure I speak for all my colleagues around the table here that we need intensification of Mount Pearl. the status quo for your residential houses on 50 by 100-foot lots, I mean, that has to change. And this whole change to our municipal plan will allow that for a variety of houses to come on stream and allow it for a faster process for permitting these houses to proceed. So the $6.1 million, 100% funded by the federal government, which is always a great thing, but it's for the processing that will allow more houses, a broader range of houses, more intensification of housing to be built more quickly. So again, it's great news for the city. Thank you, Mayor.
And I know if any developers reach out, Jeremy Schwartz with our economic development team, he's the relationship contact if you'd like, and that can really be helpful to make sure we establish those connections. And back to committee.
Okay, next on our agenda, we have requests for professional development for Councilors Isabel Fry and Bill Antle for the MNL 2024 Avalon Eastern Regional Meeting that happened from March 1st to the 2nd, 2024 in Clarenville. It's recommended that the request by Councilor Fry and Antle to attend the Municipalities Newfoundland and Labrador 2024 Avalon Eastern Regional Meeting in Clarenville from March 1st to the 2nd, 2024 be approved, and I so move.
It is moved by Councillor Lane, second by Councillor Rice. Thank you. Anybody with questions? I'll call the motion. All in favor? Those opposed? That's carried. Thanks.
Okay, and the last item on our agenda is the Public Works Status Report. So for roads, winter shift continues for the 2023-2024 season. The primary focus is on snow clearing and ice control as work continues with snow removal from city streets, sidewalks, cul-de-sacs, fire hydrants, islands, etc. As of February 26th, all outdoor rinks are currently closed. The city's website can be checked for further information on all rinks and the daily status updates on which rinks are open and closed. Under parks, trail grooming is ongoing as the weather conditions allow. For fleet, we have service maintenance are ongoing. All snow clearing equipment is ready for the 2023-2024 winter season and requires continuous inspection and preventative maintenance. UTM general calls, plugged sewers, service locates, new water and sewer service inspections, camera inspections, troubleshooting, water and sewer repairs, lift station inspections and maintenance, and water levels at Babel's Big Pond as of February 26th, 2024 can be seen below. And things are looking good there as well. That's it for our committee's report this evening. Thank you.
No, thank you very much. And we're going to move now to recreation and community safety. Councillor Fry.
First on our agenda this evening is the St. Patrick's Day tailgate party, which is going to be on March the 16th. So the city's going to host a tailgate party for St. Patrick's Day, and this is going to take place at the Team Gujus Sports Complex, and it's going to be on Saturday, March 16th, as I said, from 1 to 3 p.m. So what this is just where everybody can get together. You bring your food, your friends, your family, and be prepared to just sit back and enjoy the afternoon of your favorite Irish music. So you can gather around the tailgate or trunk of your vehicle and cook up a scoff and bundle up and hang out, all while enjoying hand-clapping favorites, heartwarming ballads, and mesmerizing instrumentals from Rum Ragged and Black Gold. So residents are welcome to come and bring their chairs and stoves. There's no cost to attend this. All we ask is that a non-perishable food item on a first come, first served basis, and a Facebook post will be made when the lot reaches capacity. So this is going to be a lot of fun. It is in March, so you do need to bundle up and just come out and have an afternoon of fun for the family. Next on our agenda is breakfast and brunch with the Easter Bunny. Now, this is always a really popular event. It's going to take place on March the 30th. And this year, we're going to be holding 2 seating events with the Easter Bunny. It's always a popular event. It sells out fast. So there's going to be breakfast from 8 to 10, and then a brunch from 12 to 2 at the Reed Center. And the menu will consist of hash browns, eggs, bacon, and pancakes. So tickets go on sale for this on March the 11th at 10 a.m. on Eventbrite. And we encourage everyone to come and have breakfast with the bunny, paint an Easter egg, and snuggle up for the cutest photo hop. So that's it for me. I'm gonna pass it over to Councillor Locke for the remainder of our committee report.
Thank you, Councillor Fry. And keeping on the Easter theme, for the week of March 25th to the 30th, an Easter egg hunt is going to take place in Powers Pond along the trail. So the Easter Bunny is going to be hiding eggs again this year, and kids will have a chance to submit how many eggs they think are hidden in the woods and on the trail in Powers Pond for a chance to win great prizes. So stay tuned to the City of Mount Pearl social media platforms for additional information as we get closer, again, to March 25th to the 30th. And that's it for our committee, Mayor. I thank you.
No, thanks, everybody. That brings the ordinary business as indicated in the agenda to an end, and we'll do a quick roundtable, starting with Councillor Antle, please. Councillor Rice, please. Are you passing? No, you were first last time, weren't you? Councillor Rice.
Thank you, Worship.
I thought Councillor Locke was first last time. Okay.
Thank you, Worship. And no, just a couple of things for me. There's so many activities on the city that's after happening, I guess, associated with the city and residents and athletes. And I just want to, first of all, I just want to mention that myself and Councillor Fry, MHA Stoyles and MHA Lane went out to the airport Monday night and welcomed home, I guess, the athletes from Calgary, Special Olympics, and I'm sure is near and dear to Councillor Fry's heart as well. She's going to speak on it probably too. But I just want to say how excited we were when we seen them, because the excitement that was there that night, that Monday night, was just unreal. It was they were so happy for each other. They won a total of 26 medals, I think was on the final count. 42 athletes with 26 medals. And the parents and the supporters and the airport was just alive out there Monday night. We got there and it was just off the rails altogether, and they were so excited, and we were excited for them. So I just want to say we went there to represent all council and the city, and it was so nice to be there. So I just want to say a big congratulations on how they did up in Calgary. And we spoke to the ball hockey team. They come down and they said, we needed one more goal. We needed one more goal. I said, it was always next time. And they said, yes, we'll get them next time. So they were so excited. So I just want to mention that. And the second one I want to mention is this Friday, March the 8th, International Women's Day. So the city is certainly supporting, the City of Mount Pearl is certainly supporting International Women's Day here. And this theme this year is International Women's Day is Inspire Inclusion. So the Mount Pearl is we always embrace inclusion, we embrace diversity, and we embrace equality. So as a city, we come a long ways. And I was lucky enough to have joined council in an era where gender parity was reality. So, I just want to, and I guess I'll go back to the part of the male allyship when the 4 male council members at the City of Mount Pearl attended, I think probably a couple of years ago now, down at the, when St. John's had it there. So I just want to say, put that out there. So when we were elected in 2022, we formed a group of 3 male councillors, 2 women councillors and a male mayor, our female deputy mayor. There's a great balance here on council. This was not always the case. Traditionally, municipal politics were mainly dominated by men. And this was very included in Mount Pearl. According to the Department of Municipal and Provincial Affairs, 39% of all candidates in the 2021 municipal election identified as female, and women elected increased by 10% from the previous election. This is excellent news, but just as the process of building a great city never ends, the process of driving societal changes never ends as well. Gender equality needs to be ingrained in society's DNA. Whether it's community organizations, in business, or in politics, we need more women leaders at the table. Encourage and rally your friends, family, colleagues, and community to inspire inclusion. Together, we can work collaboratively to create positive change, Together, we can all help forge an equal world. Let's inspire inclusion today and always. So I just want to put that out there as part of support for International Women's Day. Thank you, Your Worship.
No, thank you very much. Over to Councillor Lane now.
Thank you, Your Worship. Just a couple of things for me. I too would like to mention International Women's Day because as a woman on council, I think it's very important. I think that we've come a long way as a community and as a world when it comes to the inclusion of women, but there certainly still is a ways to go. But I'm certainly proud to be a part of a council where my male colleagues are very inclusive and supportive. And we also have a lot of powerful women here on our staff. So thank you all for being so inclusive. And thank you to my female colleagues for all that you do. And certainly a happy International Women's Day to you because you deserve to be celebrated. Secondly, I'd like to send a congratulations to Mount Pearl's Luke McPherson. He won gold in the Mount Pearl for Mount Pearl in wrestling NL games. So huge congratulations to Luke. That's certainly an accomplishment. That's it for me this evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Fry.
So the last time I wasn't able to give a full round table because I wasn't well and I couldn't stop coughing. I'm going to make up for it here now today. No comment. 3 items for me this evening. I do want to speak of the Special Olympics because it's just it's overwhelming to see them when you see them get off the plane with the medals around their necks and such pride, not just for themselves but for each other too. It was so genuine, and there was a crowd of people at the airport lined up the stairs for when they came down, and it was just really something to see. So I want to talk about that because their motto is, let me win, but if I cannot win, let me be brave in the attempt. And they're so they're just so genuine about it, and they're so genuinely happy for each other. And what a better place this world would be if everybody else just adopted that motto. But as Councillor Rice was saying, there were 41 athletes that competed in 7 sports, and they were all supported by 28 volunteers, coaches, and staff. So they went to Calgary from February the 27th to March the 2nd. And Newfoundland and Labrador received a total of 26 medals, and the breakdown for that is 10 gold, 5 silver, and 11 bronze. And our Mount Pearl floor hockey team, the Wolverines, received a bronze medal, and we're so proud of them. We actually played them one time. Council played that team, and we lost very badly, except I did get a goal. Anyway, I want to say congratulations to all of the athletes, and especially all of our Mount Pearl athletes. We're so proud of each of them. And also, I want to send out a congratulations to our Lions Club, our Mount Pearl Lions Club, for their senior high speak out. And we all participated in that. Some of us were questioners, some of us were judges. One of us was a scorekeeper, the best scorekeeper. And it was such a great event to see. I mean, public speaking is so important, and I think there should be more events like that. So for the Lions Club to put this together and to coordinate it, you know, it's really important. It's really important, especially for our high school and junior high schools. And I want to say congratulations to the winner, Grace Norris. The first runner-up, Ella Morecombe, and the second runner-up is Eamon Fogwell. And all of the speeches were so impressive and extremely well executed. Like it was truly an impressive evening. So congratulations to all of the participants, actually, because I wouldn't have wanted to be a judge. I'm glad I was asking the questions. No, they were all really good. And finally, for me, this is really important to me as well. I want to encourage people, residents, to nominate some incredible youth for the Focus on Youth Awards. Nomination deadline for that is March the 29th. And I mean, that's one thing that we always have in Mount Pearl is incredible youth and well-rounded and involved in so much. So just to give you some information here, the Youth of the Year is designed to honor a well-rounded individual who demonstrates exceptional achievements in academics, community organization involvement, leadership, and athletics. And that's just the Youth of the Year. There are so many different categories from music and arts and everything that you can possibly think of. And any group, organization, or individual who is not a relative can make nominations. And please keep in mind that only the achievements during the calendar year of the nomination package are allowed. So to be eligible, must be a resident of Mount Pearl during the competition, must be a full-time student in secondary or post-secondary institution, and must not be younger than 13 as of January the 1st and not older than 19 as of December 31st in the competition year. And this is something that we can all get behind and celebrate our youth. So I strongly encourage, everybody knows somebody. And sometimes it requires a little bit of effort to nominate somebody, but it goes so far and it means a lot. So anybody out there who can hear me here now, who knows an extraordinary youth, please nominate them. And that's it for me, Your Worship.
Thank you, Councillor. Over to you, Councillor Locke.
Thank you, Mayor. I too will begin with International Women's Day. I'm delighted to work with all the strong women, not only in this room, but throughout the city. I said it before that the input from our women counterparts, they bring a different perspective, different insight around the table. And I said it before, I'll say it again, it not only makes me a better counselor, but it makes me a better person. So I really value the women around this table that I work with, regularly. And you are to be celebrated. So happy early International Women's Day on Friday. Some sad news. I want to acknowledge the passing of Doug Babstock, a dear friend of mine, and of course, so many. Doug passed away a week ago Sunday, unexpectedly, and his funeral service was on Monday. So we know Doug in his eulogy. It was brought up at the service as well. He never saw a beer nor a dance floor that he didn't like. So he liked his beer, and he certainly liked to dance. And it was highlighted that he during Winter Carnival, the Frosty Festival, I think the Wednesday before at Irish Pub Night, he was up dancing on the dance floor there. So it was a shock. I just want to send out love and condolences to Peggy, Doug's wife, and his children and his family, and certainly of all of his friends, certainly at the Seniors Independence. And I know all of us around this table knew Doug. I'll end on a good note. On Pancake Supper on Shrove Tuesday, we were up at the Church of the Good Shepherd. Councillor Fry and Mayor and I were sat at the table, and we were sat with two great women, and they were funny and they were engaging, and it was such a nice evening. But I just want to highlight that one of the ladies there, I think Sheila Power, Mayor was the lady's name, and she recently lost her husband, and she was commenting that she availed of our bench program, commemorative bench program, and she really celebrated Paula Foley with our city. And I just want to give a shout out to Paula. Miss Power said that Paula was so understanding, so patient, so compassionate, and she just felt so good about the whole experience. So I want to give a shout out to Paula Foley. I've had the pleasure with serving on many committees with Paula over the years, and she's such a professional, and she takes great pride in this program. So again, I'd ask the director if you could pass it along to Paula Foley of the compliments that Ms. Sheila Power gave to her. And that's it for me, Mayor. Thank you.
All good. Thank you. Over to Councillor Antle.
Worship. And the beauty about going last is that I get a chance to comment on everybody else's, because I was taking notes. It was so good. I won't be too long, Your Worship. The first thing is that this past weekend, self and Councillor Fry had the opportunity to attend the M&L Regional Caucus meetings out in Clareville. And I must say they were fabulous meetings. There were 2 days, 2 full days of roundtables. There was 9 different roundtables. A couple we talked about was the Regional Service Board and how well it could affect different smaller communities. We're so fortunate here in Mount Pearl that we have lots of opportunities. We have garbage collection, we have water, but some small communities just don't have that. So the Regional Service had a good time to talk about that. We had regional caucus discussions, and that was a good opportunity for us to discuss regional issues, and there's lots of good ideas. One of the things that came out of one of the meetings was our structure, our committee structure. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about it on the roundtable tonight, but I won't talk about it here. but some councils have different structures regarding our committee structures. Some good ideas came out of that. But I must say for the 2 full days, it was 9 different roundtables. It was really time well spent. So Councillor Fried certainly enjoyed that. Also, just as we were going through this, believe it or not, because Director Dalmont is going to bring us some snow, but I just got a call. I got an email this afternoon from Sean McKenna. Our community gardens are getting up and ready to roll again. So if any resident wants to put their name down for a community garden, Forest Avenue have a community garden. We have one up on Gloria Pearson. And these community gardens are great opportunity for us to get together. Right, you can call Sean McKenna. He's here in the city at 748-1000. Or you can go on our website. Our Director Collinson can certainly help us and direct us in this area. But these community gardens are a great way to get together with other residents. And it's a little bit of fun. And Councillor Fry got a question.
No, I just wanted to, just to remind everybody that we also have accessible community gardens available as of last year. So for anybody who may have back issues or mobility issues, there are accessible beds there as well.
Thank you. Yes, that's a great point. So, and that's March 21st. So anybody wants to get in contact with Sean. Yesterday morning, as you talked about the special law and how we paid attention to that. Yesterday morning, I had coffee with my one of my local places I have coffee with, I won't say, but anyhow, Mark Peddle and his father were there, and say he was beaming. He was so happy. He was so proud. He was still on a high, and he still said so great. So they certainly do enjoy those Olympics, and it was great to see them. Would just a quick note with the Lions Club and their speak off. One of the things I noticed, this Lions Club, there's so few. They haven't got a huge membership, but they do so much in the city. It's unbelievable how much they punch well above their weight. There's so many things that the Lions Club do. It's unbelievable. They're always there, and they're great to see. International Women's Day, I'd be remiss to say that I have 2 great councillors I work with and Deputy Mayor Kiley. I'm always constantly contacting Director Pittman too often, and our CAO Dana and Stephanie we have such good women here in our city, right? And they're all well qualified, and I'm sorry, I missed Arlene. I'll be lost without Arlene. So thank you very much for everything you do. And as regards to where you had a quick note on Paula Foley, I heard that before. Anybody who orders a bench here in the city, they have nothing but good things to say about Paula Foley. And that's everything from me, Your Worship.
Council, you know how to end things on a positive note. Well said. I had a couple things I did want to mention, but I wanted, and one of them is, and I sort of gave Director Dallamont the little signal that I was going to come to him, and he probably knows I'm coming in about snow clearing. And we've had a rough, not really rough, we had a challenging month with 80 centimeters of snow, I think 2 weeks ago. I hear there could be a heavy snowfall this Friday. I'm not going to ask you to make any predictions. How's the equipment? How's the staff? Are they ready for it?
That's a great question. So all indication right now is there is going to be some type of weather event Thursday into Friday into Saturday morning. And as a preparation for that, we've been preparing for this since the last snowfall. That's why right up until today, we've been pushing back corners, opening up sidewalks, doing blowback. It's always in the event that another snow event is happening, which in this case, it looks like it's a possibility at the end of this week. Our equipment is ready. We've budgeted and replaced our equipment when needed. Our staff are ready to go, and we will be ready as normal. And come Thursday into Friday, depending on snow volumes, there's a good chance, but we'll have staff at this cleanup 24/7 until we get where we want to be.
Thank you very much. And on a final note, I too want to mention International Women's Day on March 8th. And I look at all my colleagues and our co-workers around the table here, and it's a really good blend. It's a good balance, the way it should be. A very positive, constructive working people that always put the city of Mount Pearl first. And despite all that, I know you have your personal lives too. You have your families and the activities that you like to do. So it's with great dedication that all of us serve, but especially on March 8th, we do recognize the the females that work with us, and whether it's staff under your leadership, Dana Spurl, or council with the deputy mayor, Councillor Lane, Councillor Fry, on March 8th, reflect a little bit too on the suffrage that occurred over the years. We got here through battles, and by building over time, maybe over generations, we got here by building respect. And I think that's key to remember going forward all the time. So I believe most of us will be celebrating with the deputy mayor this coming Friday. She's giving a speech, I believe, and many of us will be happy to attend. And we look forward to seeing the deputy mayor back in her seat sometime in the future. So on that note, thank you very much for indulging me. And we're going to close the meeting now. And on motion of Councillor Lane, second by Councillor Fry,